It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely.
But to what end is he working here? The consul I once knew would never act so recklessly.
Intimidation is not required. Protectorate subjects are not programmed to question authority. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station. It seems Agent DeVries is also here, Commander. She sent word that she, quote, knew you wouldn't be able to stay away either and is ready to finish what she started, end quote.
My business with the consul is deeply personal, and I have made my distrust for DeVries known. I must be brought along to judge the former and reserve judgment for the latter.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. Focusing on mission-critical objectives.
What is it?
Soon the consul will answer for his many, many crimes.
Just waiting on your orders, Commander.
To be so
Whenever you're ready.
close. The rift. It's magnificent. When we've done what we came to do, it's finally time.
Chit-chat, dear.
I shall soon be reborn into perfection. Thank you for bringing me here.
And my rays are never lower. If there's a cost you can't complete, or your ends just won't quite.
Soldiers. They do not look right. The consul stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. How my blood boils. Subject of the Protectorate. The thought of meeting a similar fate makes me shudder.
If I hadn't lost my sanity before this.
None of us can do it alone. Remember,
together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty.
Not a factor ahead.
Let us hope that whatever architect-forsaken logic operates within this place does not fail us.
Attention! This is your Auntie calling. Per our agreement, Auntie's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Border forces are on a similar trajectory.
And here I was sure neither would show. That the corporatists would find a contractual loophole and the self-important scienticians would prove mathematically they shouldn't be here.
My armor may be rated for temperatures in the thousands, but I find even most blankets too stifling. Let us find an alternate route.
I, for one, am glad we chose not to die via plasma exposure. Definitely not a pleasant way to go.
This is Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry.
Stack ready. Go on.
Soon the consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time.
Too much mayhem to be sown to stop and talk right now.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Enemies destroyed! Three and one.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just...
Agent Pascal, calm yourself. You are not in your right mind.
Don't you talk to me like you know me. Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? My skin, it's burning. I feel dizzy. Not right at all. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them.
Then they weren't too dissimilar from the troopers we encountered outside. This is concerning.
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes?
Not on purpose. Inadvertently, maybe? Depends on the commander's mood, to be honest.
You do seem like yourself, Commander. Can you tell me what's happening? I can't make much sense of things myself. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
That explains it. She was left alive, just long enough for the rift to take her. That's why the reconstitution worked on her. To some extent.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true. Rift. That's right. We were here to investigate rifts. So why is there one in the sky?
The Protectorate are attempting to reconstitute the station to how it was moments before destruction. That includes you. But it's failing. I'm sorry.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. That's good. Suppose I can take some comfort in that. You know, the sky ain't looking quite so terrifying now. Since I know you'll put it right, think I'll watch it for a while. Yeah? Last show I'll ever watch. Worse ways to go out, I think.
Pascal? Helen? I can stay with you for a moment, if you'd like. Might help.
Yeah. All right. I ain't turning down company if I'm at the end of the line. Goodbye then, Commander. Maybe we'll meet again in the void.
It's all right. This will be over soon. I swear it. It's all right. This will be over soon. I swear it.
about. Let's see what's inside them. Butchering. Tony.
None shall stand.
Equation. Obviating. Balancing the equipment. Left side of target. Obviating. Left side of target. Balancing the left side of target.
Evidence is much too close for safety, and that rover it has dispensed. I do not like this.
Enemy in evisceration.
Those dragoons may not be in the best shape after being pulled from the rift, but that makes them no less deadly.
path is barred. That rift looks exceedingly unstable.
We better look around, see if we can find anything to help us out.
I am honored
Too much mayhem to be sown to stop and talk right now.
The end of all things.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Council. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
Somehow, I expect Rand's theories evaporated when put into practice. Much like Rand himself. Perhaps we can still utilize his calculations. We face down a more fearsome foe than ever before.
have here? The Sovereign always did fancy himself a scientist.
I should have expected that my sovereign would have solved such a complex equation himself. What a brilliant...
So, the Sovereign fancies himself a mathematician. Let's check his work. Stealing credit for others' work. Not surprising, and not the least of what he's done. Both the science and the rift.
If we do not take that rover to the Providence, Arcadia may be consumed by these rifts.
hangar to continue our ingress.
Quickly now!
Well, glad you finally jimmied that open. Things are getting appreciably worse out there. We're running out of time to seize the rift. The presiding bishop wished for me to relay a message to you. Why she couldn't send her own courier, I couldn't say. The rift modulator is on the science deck, one floor up. Deck access is restricted without proper credentials. Imagine that twice as long and in the form of a distance problem. That means, of course, you'll either need to pilfer an access card, swindle some daft sod out of it, or find some other way around the deck restrictions. Any more troops in here, they'd be tripping over one another. Don't you worry. These are the best paid closers in my fleet, and worth We'll hold here to ensure you aren't flanked by reinforcements as you delve deeper in. Don't fritter away your life.
This unit is rated to address any of your needs. If your needs are emotional, rest assured that any silences on this unit's behalf, please make a request. Subjects are expected to pay for any supplies beyond standard issue. Monthly munition supplies should be quite in case of enemy attack. Subject is expected to kill invaders efficiently enough not to require additional resources. This ship is only for authorized Protectorate subjects. You are on this ship. If you are not a Protectorate subject, please purchase a weapon from this unit and shoot yourself. Displaying.
Veritable mosaic of conflict stands ahead.
What? We need access credentials now? Enough of this. Let's just start killing. Far simpler. That rift modulator's gotta be somewhere around here.
When asked, will result in swift disciplinary action.
legally authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder. I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? You've been reviewing our experiments. I hope I'm not being replaced. I specifically went to mental refreshment to avoid that. If you wish to see the modulator, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carry 2 cards, just in case. I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia.
I'm no scientician, yet I can see the sheer arrogance in this display. Reconstitution cannot work. It must not be allowed to work.
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
Go about your business, or do not.
Nice to see there's at least one Protectorate scientist who's not lying to themselves. Still lying to everyone else, it seems. Understandably.
Of course you can't reconstitute beings pulled from a rift without errors. Unfortunately, fools like the Consul never let proof get in the way of their machinations.
Go about your business, or do not.
can unearth regarding it.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to
Esteemed Council, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to the modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts was certain. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear
Administrator, raise the alarm. We have an intruder. The rifts are spawned.
More died than I surmised. But at least we have the means to come back to
First, let's find the console.
You, here before me. Surprised you could outrun these new legs of mine. They're what everyone's going to be wearing next fall. Well, I'm here now. Where's the rift modulator? So Consul Thoreau has everything directly under his control. I'd say that's remarkably competent for... Did you find anything else of note? Wait, what? But rifts are caused by skip drive travel. human-piloted skip drive travel. How is that possible? Nothing would please me more. Just think, another form of intelligent life to sell goods to. A chance to create needs no one ever knew exist. Much as I'm intrigued by the significance of all this, there's no type. You might be savvy enough to talk him down, but his type requires a deft touch. You'll need to break him down brick by brick. If you're too adversarial, he'll simply shut down. Well, I can't control what you do, dear, as much as I might wish I could.
You may try to reason with the Consul, but I suspect it is a worthless effort. Traitors typically only realize their errors through force.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. Standing around's got me jumpy. After we'll succeed in our mission.
So, here we finally stand. At the threshold, there's little doubt that he must be slain. And yet, I wish there were an alternative. He should have to rectify his wrongs and answer. The Consul shall have to answer for his deeds. I'll not hear otherwise. But if you do not... There was a time when all of this, not just confronting the Consul, but standing here beside you, would have been impossible to Let us proceed.
Oh, don't go getting all weepy on me now.
Looks like the end of the line, Commander. I just wanted to say again, I'll think of you every time I'm forced to strike down a former compatriot from the Dawn. Assuming we don't die here and we're not enjoying the perfection of the rifts, that is. Never. Victory doesn't mean we'll survive. But never worry. If we die, I'm making certain the Consul goes with us.
Power makes people think they're invincible. The Sovereign found out the hard way that it does not.
Ah, Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself would walk through that door. But I haven't time to linger in the novelty. Sentinels, if you would.
Do I appear like someone afraid of a few guns? Give it up, Emery. You've lost this war. Have some dignity. You're coming off desperate.
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. You are less a guest and more of an invasive species, Commander. One that I will cull in short order. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously caused our Vox relay to crash into Fairfield. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. For all your bluster, you seem more concerned with running your mouth than improving your performance in the field. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
You used the peace talks as a test run for this.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed.
beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than simply slaying him on the spot.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
If you've a plan, I trust you to see it through. But I shall keep a hand on my hammer throughout.
It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
Your science is 100 kinds of wrong. Worse, you willfully misinterpret what the data says about the rifts. And I can't wait to correct you.
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims. Heresy!
I found her correspondence with the first bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it, in a crumbling heap of hubris.
The matriarch foresaw many things. To think that we were not set apart from lesser societies, it is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. What do you mean, steered wrongly? If Reuben was not carrying out her wishes as intended, then the Protectorate have strayed far from the matriarch's light. But regardless of how I may have misstepped before, I am not in the wrong now. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay.
You allow your resolve to be shaken when millions lie dead? If I had not traveled with the Commander, I would attempt to slay you on the spot. Instead, I shall appeal to any lingering remnant of your honor to do what is right.
Do not speak to me as though I must be punished. And you claimed so boldly that this plan of mine would fail. So, where is it? Where is your proof? Bah, a report. The abstract means little when compared to reality. Look outside. Is it failing now? I shall not have you mocking my subjects. Despite how things appear at present, with time, this station, all of Arcadia, and all of its people will be made whole. So they will remain as shells upon reconstitution. Is that what you're saying? This would explain the anomalies we've encountered of late. I don't understand. Surely every step leading to this moment was in accordance to the grand plan. All the pieces fit. Either someone has made a terrible mistake, or this is merely a conspiracy to mislead us. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? But what use is living if your very framework for existence is in jeopardy? Oh, Matriarch, guide me. I think I see now. The Matriarch spoke of this in her writings. The follies of focusing so deeply on such a framework and losing sight of its pieces. And I fear I have. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender. What? Oh, by the Matriarch. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, it has nearly destabilized completely. And the modulator cannot close it in its current state from a safe distance. Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us. There is. Though given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, I don't believe you'll appreciate it. A chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible. However, when the rift folds in on itself, this ship and its operator will not survive.
Are you sure there isn't just an off button? Maybe something you can unplug?
Oh, Emery, taking a page from Auntie's choice product testing, I see. We do try to avoid a consistent certainty of death, though. It's just bad business.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is my responsibility to set things right. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You are right. Arcadia will find its way without me. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility. And that is something I will never shirk from.
And I'm going with him. I am owed an existence in perfection after all I've done. But this is the goal of my life. Everything I've done, everything it means to be part of the glorious dawn. Crossing that threshold is my right. You weren't even listening to me, were you? Fine. Have it your way. Cue the light show.
Now go. Make what's left of your existence count.
We shall have our hands full cleaning up the mess you've made of Arcadia.
Let's get on with it then.
In the end, when the Consul was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a burnt-out ruin following its destruction by the Vox station. Auntie's Choice was too preoccupied with galactic expansion to spare resources rebuilding one small company town. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully, for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. Despite Niall's affection for Val, he didn't believe automechs like her should replace their human counterparts. Yet Niles was no longer part of the Earth Directorate, and he had no say in the matter. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle, one she would fight for the rest of her life. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. After Azza disbanded the Glorious Dawn, its members quietly tried to resume lives forever disrupted by the Arcadian conflict. As the cult's murderous legacy faded, average colonist life expectancy increased by 0.23%. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Unable to acquire the chemicals needed for the process, Ruth Passar nevertheless attempted to interface with the archive and died immediately. Her successor banned any future interfacing attempts and led the Order in a much more cautious direction, delaying their progress for at least a century. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, The Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.